I was hired by Michael Jackson and his attorneys to make a video tour of Neverland Ranch to be used at the trial. It was quite easy. I was given as much time as I wanted. I was told I could go wherever I wanted. I had the staff at my command to help bring me here or there or move things around. But I did go in Michael's personal bedroom, his bathroom, his changing areas, closets area, and the dining room, kitchen. Essentially, I had unprecedented access to Neverland. I didn't see any signs of them trying to stage it one way or the other. The only thing I saw their concern was that things were clean. If anything was dirty, they would clean it.
Did you ever see Michael take drugs or pills?
No, I didn't at all. When I saw him, he seemed frail, but he also seemed very alert and normal, very unassuming.
Did you see him exhibit any sort of erratic behavior?
Not at all.
What surprised you the most about Neverland and Michael's home?
Maybe what surprised me most was it was kind of like a regular looking Beverly Hills mansion. It was a Tudor style house, a lot of beautiful antiques. Maybe what also surprised me were the outlandish antiques. There's wall-to-wall antiques and wall-to-wall mementos that he either had sent to him or gathered. Also books everywhere. He's apparently a voracious reader, and he had all types of books throughout the house, and I feature some of them in the documentary. And that became relevant because the sheriffs tried to make it out that he had inappropriate pornography or whatever, but he didn't.
He didn't?
Right, he didn't.
Did you see any pornography?
No, I went through all his books, and the sheriffs went through all his books too. Apparently all they found was a couple of nudes and art books, but he had over 10,000 books on the premises.
Do you think Michael was a pedophile?
Oh, I absolutely don't. From what I learned, he just was an innocent man that liked to channel his childlike nature, and as he said, he channeled his childlike nature for professional and creative purposes, for his dance, music, and so forth.
Why did they have mannequins? What were the mannequins used for?
Michael said he had mannequins around because he was a lonely person, and they helped make him feel not lonely. And so he had a baby doll collection, as he called it. He had one room with just baby dolls, which you can see in my documentary, and then mannequins throughout his bedroom area, and then throughout the house, and then also outside throughout the grounds there are statues and mannequins. He had a situation where he couldn't go out in public without being mobbed, and that wasn't comfortable for him, although he lived off his fans, and he was most comfortable when he was on stage. And he even said that he likes to sleep with the lights on and kind of feel like he's on stage. Michael's bedroom area is fascinating. It's kind of one wing of the house at the very end of the house, and there's a downstairs area with pinball machines and all types of games and TVs and memorabilia, and it's his bathroom area and closets downstairs, and then upstairs is his bedroom, which is really a rather small room. You can see in the sheriff's footage that that there was a crib right next to his bed, which I believe Blanket stayed in. I remember hearing him say that his own kids often stayed in his bedroom. Throughout the bedroom were stacks and stacks of memorabilia, DVDs, VHS tapes, things sent to him by his fans, all types of pictures, pictures of his kids, pictures of Shirley Temple, Elizabeth Taylor, various child stars. And one of the few things I was told that I couldn't do on the property was videotape any shots of his kids. He didn't want the images of his kids to get out there.
Did you ever see drugs?
I didn't see any drugs on the property, no.
Nothing.
Nothing to do with drugs and Michael, no. And I saw Michael at the trial, and he didn't seem drugged. I was also went into various video libraries Michael had because the sheriffs had raided all the video areas looking for pornography, which apparently they didn't find any. But in his video library, he mainly had Disney movies, documentaries, and feature films of various sorts, but kind of family-style movies. It's a fascinating video that will be seen for the first time in my documentary, where the sheriffs lead the young accuser, he's 13 years old at the time, into a little conference room, and they tell him at one point that Michael is the bad person, not you and your family. You and your family are good people, and we want to help you, and by you telling us about any molestation, it will help the world. And so they, in a way, they kind of led him along, and so to tell you about the interview. Well, as I said, Gavin was studying acting at the time, and the jury felt he was acting. The jury foreman says in my documentary the kid was acting, but he did a pretty convincing acting job, and he certainly fooled the sheriffs. So he's there telling about molestation. The sheriffs say, well, what happened? And then the accuser kind of gets very quiet, and he say, well, he molested me. And then the sheriffs pull it out of him, and he says, well, Michael touched my private area. And then he said, well, tell us more, tell us more. He said, well, he put his hands inside my pants. But this was all a made-up story, and the sheriffs were just kind of eating it up. And according to Tom Messerow and others, the sheriffs hadn't done their research to know that this kid and his family had already scammed others, and this is what they were doing now to Michael. Michael really showed bad judgment in that first settlement because it made him look like he's admitting he's a pedophile. But in effect, he just had bad judgment, convincing him that he had to settle so he could move on with his projects.
So he could move on, and it was bad advice.
Yeah.